Hello, lovely Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into your March forecast in 2016. Can't believe we're already in March. But this is a general reading for anybody who has Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, or Taurus Moon. Again, general reading, general messages, getting to the core of the spiritual matter for you. But if it's more of a personal guidance or personal reading that you're looking for, I do have a full availability for readings on my website. There's a big list if you want to choose which one feels right for you. For those of you who support me on Patreon, thank you so much. And for those who have donated recently and got their little basic readings, thank you ever so much for that as well. Okay, so March energies so far, especially with my meditation, have come up as slightly erratic but mostly positive. It's a very, very positive month for a lot of you. So that's really good. I'm using the Druidcraft Tarot deck. I keep forgetting who it's by. I am so sorry. But my guides didn't want me to do an Oracle deck this month. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of going with that, and I'm just going to use this because it is very more personal, it's very in-depth, but also it gives a broader spectrum of emotions it's going through. I also feel like I don't know why, I just they kept saying use this one, so we'll see. Maybe it's more of a spring equinox deck. A lot of tarot readers, they choose the favourite decks for depending on the season. Some decks feel a bit autumny, some decks feel more summery. So with this one, this is my spring one maybe, I don't know. I keep getting told that I need a new deck though, so if you have any suggestions on tarot decks, I would love them, because there are far too many for little old me to be able to figure out. Okay, so ooh, got some good cards. Let me have a look. Okay, so this does kind of go in line with my meditation. The only thing is, I kind of don't understand this one, because this doesn't go in line with my meditation. These three do. These three do. And, I'm always honest, especially in, every reading. I say what I see, and this surprises me, if I'm honest. So maybe they've actually just got this hidden kick here. Normally, or at least in my interpretation of it in the past, has been that this is kind of like overdoing yourself on bliss. Being too consumed with the finer things, or being too consumed with what you feel is a healthy thing, but turning it into maybe an unhealthy thing. I do feel that you need to be a bit more aware of what's going around you, and trying to find out what limits you have to make for yourself. Again, a lot of these readings are coming out with limits and how to draw the line, and it seems that you, Taurus, are very similar to those. But I do feel that some of you, I think this is for only a few of you, I do apologise if you don't connect with it, but has to be said, some of you who are very much tanking up on the good things and ignoring the actual material things, or the things you should be doing, kind of like, oh, I really love this bar, I'm going to go to every single night. Or it's kind of like the flurry of emotion with a new lover. You're consistently with them, you're consistently absorbing them and thinking about them. Or it's also if you've recently broken up with somebody and you can't stop thinking about them and crying and everything. It's the energy that makes you feel like you can't think of anything else. So I think this is basically a thing saying, look out, because as soon as these two eclipses happen, you're going to get that cleansed completely. Because we've got the King of Cups here, meaning that you are going to be in charge of your emotions. You're going to be very much a case of strength. And I feel that you will be happier around yourself when the solar eclipse happens. it is about being able to see the faults in your own process, admitting it and dealing with it. But actually, a lot of you Taurus, yeah, you're not going to actually have that. So this could be the first 2 weeks of March for you. So this could actually be that you are feeling quite good about yourself, on top of the world, you've got everything sorted or somewhat sorted, or you're proud about yourself as to how you diplomatically dealt with somebody in particular. Because I always see the King of Cups as a diplomat, somebody who deals fairly, deals with emotions, can sometimes run on emotions or rely on emotions too heavily, but definitely somebody who gets control of the heart and who's able to understand things on a very creative level. Especially good sign for those of you who are creative in itself or wanting to study something creative. I do see a lot of you with paintbrushes. Again, a lot of times with earth signs, they are misinterpreted to be very stoic and uninspiring. I find Taurians very sensitive, as much as Capricorns and Virgos, because I think you're very grounded in the fact that you know what you need, you know what's to, you know what's to your taste, you know what needs to be around you often. You're very in control. Taurus, you're more fixed, I think, than the rest of the earth signs, but I think this is basically you feeling happy once you're able to let go of something for some of you, and just in general, because you've accomplished something and you've dealt with something great. I just noticed how blue my thumb looks. It's very cold here and my circulation isn't there. Okay, so Prince of Swords in the third week, it does indicate a lot of action. So maybe it's time to put your ideas into action now. So you've sat on them for a while, you've deliberated, maybe you've enjoyed the pleasure of feeling right. You know, I think as much as I love you, Taurus, sometimes you really do love saying I told you so. I think that's a failing of many earth signs, to be honest. It's kind of like, I told you so, I knew it, I predicted it. And it's true, your advice can often be overlooked, because especially if you're talking to impulsive people or people who just want to go about their own way, but your advice can often be overlooked. And I think this is you basically taking your own advice and putting things into charge. I mean, even here, you could interpret this as like the horns of a bull or something, you know? It just thinks, I think that you are going to be causing a lot of ruffles. You're not going to really have to care who you ruffle as well. But I do feel this is inspired by the cleansing you have done. And it's kind of like, no, damn it. I'm going to get up and I'm going to be able to claim my own energy and claim what I want to do. For those of you who have been very sad lately or consumed, it's kind of like you wake up and you're able to get control of things after the King of Cups, obviously, and make sure that your ideas are cemented and you're able to go after it and you're able to do this. And it's just a very good, ambitious card, I think. And it is basically saying that I think a juvenile person, you know, somebody in their teens, may be a little bit dominant for you this month. They could be demanding a lot of their time. It could be actually trying to rein this person in a little bit. If it's not you, you could be wanting to say, hang on a second, don't do that. No, don't do that. So it could be a son or a daughter who's very, you know, I'm going to do this, and charges forward and does it. But I do like this Prince of Swords. I think it heralds a good message. I believe it's heralding good fortunes and basically the sense of mind that you're determined enough to go out and get it. And we also have the World. So with this one, it's kind of like you have everything you need. You have everything you could possibly want at your disposal, but sometimes it's about using it correctly. You are coming full circle, and I do believe that you are going to see things in a different perspective. It could also relate to some international links. I think somebody from abroad may be missing you, or somebody from abroad may want to get in contact with you. It could even be that you're planning to go away for a while. Either way, it does seem like you put things into perspective a little bit more. You're able to understand what your place is and finding your position in your own little world. You've got all the elements here. You've got cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. You are very much the magician of your own life, and I actually believe this is calling you to do a little bit of meditation, improve your aura, especially when these, eclipses have actually accomplished and gone forwards. But in general, it's a very, I don't know, that's for only for a few of you, but I do feel that in general, it's very much a case of using your sensitivity, using your knowledge, using your instinct to the benefit of yourself, and making sure that you are able to fit into your world again, or be in charge of your world. Because for some of you, I think that may have slipped away slightly, but yeah, I get the impression that there's a lot of positivity here. I also think for those of you who have recently accomplished something, you've got a little bit of respite before the next charge. So you've got a little bit of respite here before the next project, before the next thing where you're rushed off your feet again. So this is about taking rest, making sure that you're okay before you rush off again, and before you kind of take the world by storm once again. So yeah, I think some of you have to kind of sit back and relax a little bit, gather your energy, and then you can go forwards. But in general, Taurus, that's an incredible reading. I mean, I do hope you get the energy from it too. I always encourage people to pause the video, look at the cards, see what messages you get, just in case, there's a message or a symbol that means something to you that doesn't come through me, because obviously this is general. If it is a personal guidance reading that you'd like, I do have a full list available on the website. Also, Facebook and Twitter links and ways of contacting and donating are all down below. But in the meantime, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens to you in March. Do share your stories, and also reading for you in April. In the meantime, my lovelies, do take care of yourself, and blessed be.